Hello, comrades. It's your premier ever here, and I am going to give you a brief report on the status of the Soviet. We have started construction on our warehouse, and I thought I would show you that you know we've completed the path. I have assigned our asphalt plant, so now we need the warehouse for a couple reasons. One, whether we buy food here, which we could probably save a few bucks if we ship it or truck it in. I don't really know how true that is because the truck will cost us money. But another thing, so in other words, once we get this built, we could decide to bring food and clothes and stuff like that up to some stores that I laid down. So this is a grocery store. It's a regular store here. I put a soccer thing in because they're going to want some entertainment. I have it on medium difficulty as far as keeping people happy, and I know from the past that it definitely, you need to keep them happy. Even if you don't want to, you just need to keep them happy. It would be nice if you could threaten them with the gulag, but you can't. So, anyway. Happiness is the path, apparently, to keeping them working hard. So we've got our footpath in here. I accidentally built this little end section. I was going to make that part of a construction project, but I really need to pay attention to that. One of the other things I wanted to show you guys, in case you weren't aware, if we come over here to like these stores and I click on small stores, see how it says auto purchase goods? In general, we may not want that. So I think I actually set it, so before you build it, you want to take off that auto purchase goods. It's true of a few of these different kinds of buildings, like the stores and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Now, one of the problems we're going to have here, on our construction site, I'm going to close it, is that we don't have any concrete. So we need to get a concrete mixer. And we'll purchase, well, we can only really purchase it with, what do they call it? Concrete mixer. Alright, so now we have a concrete mixer, so he should roll out and get that. The other thing, probably should have stayed in there, we're going to need a crane. Now, I think, if we look at the tower cranes, they're definitely a lot faster, but then you need to drag them out there with a thing. And I don't think they serve any other function besides what a road crane would. So this is speed level 26. This is speed level 57 or 65, but I think for now, the road crane will get the things out there. There you go. So now we have a road crane, which I'm not sure if we need that for the construction of this, but I know with some buildings we will, so we might as well get it now. Like I said, what I'm thinking of in this playthrough is that I'm going to tend to have like two crews. One that's job will be to build buildings, because you're going to want some different equipment. Like, if you have road crews, you're going to want them to have some different stuff. That's all. You only have 12 slots in this place here. So what I've found is it's nice to have multiple flatbeds to go get materials. I'm not going to worry about it on this job because it's so close to here. But something else I didn't do. We're going to purchase some of each of these. So this is boards, wood, bricks. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to start eliminating the need to purchase those. So there you go. So there goes our money a little bit. You can see so far we haven't spent much, but at the same time, all we did was build a couple gravel roads since the last episode. So I think I'm going to just sit here and again, we'll get our town started. I plopped down another residential structure. I want to see, let's see, we can kind of see right now. Good, look, see, people can come from there. So, and here's the thing. Remember, I assigned all of those people to go to the bus stop, but we still have workers, too many workers, really. So what we can do, actually, is I was always wondering what this 015 is. 5 is the maximum you can have. But, we really aren't going to be using much asphalt, so we can turn down the number of workers that are going to be in there. Same thing with concrete. We'll use some, but we definitely don't need, and we're in the middle of using it, but maybe we just set both of these to 2. No more than 2 people in the asphalt plant, no more than 2 people in the concrete plant. And I think that should be fine. I just think that'll be fine. So, another thing we don't have, if we come over to infrastructure, I know we can get it here, is we don't have a road vehicles depot, which will become an issue, as soon as we build that. And it looks like we can shove that in right here. I did not plan that, but I think this will be a good place. It's close to that gas station, and it's sort of in the middle of things for now. But I hope, well, this may always be the middle of things. So at this point, I don't want to, I want to suspend this construction. Now, if you notice, each of these roadways going into it is a different construction. So I didn't suspend any of those. So once we get done with the groundworks here, oh yeah, look, we're already into bricklaying. So this is where we start spending money. Yep, there goes our truck. And look, our crane pulled over there, so that's, good. We got our mechanism on site, and we have our truck, which, just has somebody can almost carry them over there, but so that means that now we have this guy free, right? So what I like to do is, the equipment that builds things, and this will spread our manpower a little short, but we can assign these roadways, and the excavator and or the bulldozer will get out there, and the dump trucks will keep working. So I will close this, and that's what I'll do for the next bit, is I'll get all these little roads built, which isn't really going to be that much. But the other thing is, what I notice is, if you don't have 2 construction sites, I wish this bus would keep bussing. Like, where the hell is our bus? Oh, there he is. Like now he's busting down to here, that's fine, but sometimes he'll like go back and park up, and it's like, yo buddy, just keep moving. Like by the time he goes from here to here, we're probably going to be out of workers anyway. Look, warehouse, no workers. Now do we definitely assign? Yeah. So I don't understand exactly why they're not, why are they going over to other places, We got all of them saying, go find work at the bus stop, but they're not, it's not that they're necessarily lazy, but they're still going to closer places, So I'm not sure why they would put that mechanic in there. There you go. See, look, we got some stuff dropped off here. Now we have to go get people. So little, I wish there was a little, like, you can't control the number of workers on a site. So, like, if he gets a good load, there he is right there, 6 workers, that's not a great load. 7. You know what, we really could use a walkway. You know what, let's schedule that walkway. These guys are walking a little extra far. I don't want to get too many, you don't want to get too many of these going, but, hey, we got a dump truck and equipment sitting around, so on these really little short roads, you don't use equipment and it goes slower, which I guess makes some sense. You're not going to necessarily drag an excavator out there to do that little tiny driveway. Though that's not true in real life, but whatever. So there we go. So I'm going to just keep plugging away, getting at least what we have here built, and then we'll probably get a road, going out this way, and talk about getting our first industry, and we'll probably have to build some more houses over here. So this would become like sort of the center of this town. I do want to, like, I've suspended, well, not this one. I suspended, what I did. I actually had a crash, so I think so see, I want to suspend the pub and the thing, because I want the stores built first. And let's suspend no more housing until we get the stores done. And the depot, yeah, see, depot is stopped, because until I actually need a road vehicle, which we won't, the first ones will probably be to go back and forth between, between the store and here. And we'll even take a look and see how much money that even saves us, and is it worth driving trucks back and forth. I certainly don't think it'll be worth it for meat, right? Like, because the meat guy just, he just drives back and forth, and at least the other guy, the truck can haul the stuff to the two different stores, so he can actually do all of them. He can do like alcohol, he can do food, he can do clothing and electronics. So one truck can have like 2 trips back and forth, and it seems more reasonable at that point. So, and it all can come from this warehouse. So anyway, all right. Well, let stuff get built up for a little while, and I'll just sit here and micromanage our construction. Might put it in the fast forward mode at times, but that's about it. All right. See you guys in a bit. Guys, I'm back a little bit sooner than I anticipated because I noticed something. It turns out that if you don't feed people, they get a bit upset pretty quickly. And I don't want this. I'm really going to do my best to keep their happiness up. So what I decided to do was to come in here and say, you know what, we're going to spend some of our rubles. We still got enough. I'm not worried about buying that many road vehicles. So just go ahead and let's just get the store. And let's just, we'll get these 2 stores. And then that way, we've got stuff coming in. And I want to make sure. See, all right, we're auto purchasing food, so they should be able to get food. Oop, let's finish this guy. And we'll finish this guy. It won't cost much. And now the shopper of clothes is not getting stuff, so we'll buy those in dollars for now. Just one click. Approve. So there we go. So now we have some electronics and some food for them, so at least their happiness won't plunge off the cliff. And we're making progress on our warehouse here. No workers. So, again, because I think they're getting unhappy, we're getting less and less workers. So this should shoot these 2 up. It also leads me to believe that let's plop in a cinema, and while that's not going to be our biggest priority, I feel like if I plop it in now while you guys are here, then I'm not building behind your backs, right? Now, can we get it in here? That would be kind of wonderful. Ooh, look at that. Or do we want it there? How about like right here? Yeah. I think I like right there better. Let's turn, make sure. Why is it red? Come on, build me a road, won't you? There you go. Can we go over closer? No. All right, build me a road. Don't do it with cinema, or don't do it with rubles. Good. There we go. So now what I'll do just for now is I'll suspend that so that it doesn't build it. We may come up here. As a matter of fact, I think our construction office. Yeah. See, the problem is when we're not having enough people, so we need to get them food. Now, I'll be curious. I'll come back when this is done, and we'll see how much is it costing us to auto buy the food here versus if we were to truck it in. So, but anyway, you see we have this. We could complete this road. Yeah, let's just assign it. And then we'll assign this one too. So that'll cut down on our productivity, but you know what? We can, while we're there, let's just assign them all, right? Nothing will get done quickly, but it'll all get done as inefficiently as they can do it. So there we go. So our soccer field will have a connection when it's ready to be built. Good. And in the meantime, these, the vehicles, we don't need any road vehicles really, like to do this, other than deliver materials. And you can see we already have all the materials for this phase. And there's just going to be like 1 or 2 more truckloads to get the rest of them in there. All right, so we're saving money where we can, and again, I don't want my people to become too unhappy. We'll have to get this bar going pretty soon too. Okay, well there you go. Let me go back to staring at this. Back again with a plan. Rather than have you guys watch just, a good amount of fiddling, you can see I did a fair amount of leveling and tearing down as we went to the different things. Let me explain what all this is. Now, some of this, we have a good amount of rubles left. And like I said, in the very first episode, or the first episode, I said I would take this down to about 500,000. This is an agricultural center. So the problem that we have is building all this stuff is taking away from our dollars, and we don't have enough dollars coming in. So we do sort of have to balance our ruble spending maybe to get to the point we got some money, obviously it'd be nice to build a power plant, but they're awful expensive. Now, I didn't go in this area, not that I would have, but if we look at the coal mine, we could possibly put a coal mine here. It's not the greatest place, but I think, we could certainly consider it as if we wanted to get coal and not buy it in. The other thing we need to consider is, we are close to this port, and I think in general we'll make money as long as we, aren't far away trying to import things. But again, I think we're better off getting resources from scratch. So one of the resources that I know we can get, and it'll be a little bit of a drive, but this all really starts with an agro farm. So this agro farm is actually one of the things I think we want to get built ASAP, but there's not too much sense because I built my silo across the street. So I plan on trying to haul stuff in between the two. Now, if I'm going to be hauling stuff back and forth here, I need a gas station. And if we're going to be doing all this construction, I have a construction place. Having said that, we put the silo here. This I don't plan on building for a while. As a matter of fact, let's open it up. And see, I already suspended. This is a livestock farm. So eventually, maybe back in here, we'll put let's go to the right place. We'll put a slaughterhouse potentially. We'll put a meat storage, somewhere back in this way. And then what I'm planning on doing is there's enough space here, depending on, I'm not sure how all this is going to work out 100%, but there should be enough space here that I could put another grain store if we need it, just to have the farm have extra. And at the same time, we should be able to get a road in between here. So the next fields I plan on putting back over in this area. So I say that because we can maybe make this side of the street, with the slaughterhouse, and maybe even add another non-attached, where we might have to drive stuff to it. The other thing is on this warehouse, this is a warehouse, and the reason for the warehouse here, let me come here, go here and here. You can see we can attach these buildings with the auto attach. So it should just suck right out of this warehouse, the corn. So if we put the crops in here in the silo, I'm assuming they'll go right over to the warehouse or something along those lines. And then we're attached to, this is a distillery, and we're attached to a food processor. So we get food come in here. Unfortunately, we'll have to drive it across the street. But at that point, once we're across the street and once we have it in here, we shouldn't have to drive it to the distillery, to the place that makes cows meat. So we'll have a slaughterhouse somewhere back in here. Again, we'll try to do it in a way that it's expandable. Maybe we'll have more, like I said, more cattle ranches. What do they call those? Meat farm? Livestock farm. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Meat store. Yeah. So in other words, I have a feeling that, we can consume up to 250 livestock per day. And this makes like 5 livestock per work day. So we could have a huge number of these cattle things, and then maybe down the road we'll even have more. We'll put another agro farm, just take up this whole area. All right, well, that's a lot of talking again, and not a lot of building. Over here, because we put this gas station in construction, you almost always want a construction and a gas station close, because these guys are always going to get gas when they're done, and I don't want them to have, especially like you get the bulldozer driving down the road at 10 miles an hour, trying to get to the gas station here. So what I put in was a gas facility. So we should be able to import gas from this, you know. So what is the priority here? I would think, you know, getting some crops planted is going to be a pretty big priority. I did get another power thing all the way down here. So, you know, do we want to... Let's go ahead and build this. It'll be rather expensive. Let's put time on so we can see. Yeah, so that we've got a little shot of money because our power. So I'm going to come here and say, build this with rubles. And I'm going to say, build this with rubles. All right, let's pause 1 second. And since this guy, we're going to need this guy because if we don't have a truck to take the agricultural goods over to the silo, then there's not much sense in, you know, we'll get all backed up quickly. So this guy, I think I'm going to go ahead and, while this construction is still just down here, we got an unfinished road. So we're going to say, do work on those vehicles and work on the road at the same time. It's probably going to be a mess. Is this the one that's... Construction not assigned. Which one are you trying to work on? I don't know. We'll just let him go. Whatever unassigned road is fine if he builds it. Might be this one. No, I don't know. It would be nice if you could kind of like double click on that or something. Now we could just delete it, but again, it's fine. Now, do we get the gas station? I don't know. Everything needs to be built at once. But let's put time on and see what that does to our money. Maybe we will build some other things more quickly, you know. So I like to put these up over here. So we're working on that, and this is getting built with our money. And then once that gets built, we can buy the equipment that we'll need to harvest, because I don't think that will hurt to get that going. We do have internal storage in this, so. So let's come here and buy a new mechanism. So I guess the first one we should probably buy is the tractor. And that should get out on the field and get it sowing right away. And then we're going to want the harvester. And then you're going to need a loader, so we might as well get the biggest one that holds 10 tons of crops. So everything is right with the farm. So good. So now we have a farm that's actually up and working, and there goes our tractor. So we have some crops on the way. And you were, okay, you're just building the main road there. Fair enough. Which we do need that road done. I know you're building this little road to the house, yeah. So kind of as scientifically as I could, measured the distance. Like if I came in here and said, okay, you know, that's definitely reaching everything, right? If we're within that view, so say we're within that view, I don't know. I do wish there was a measuring tool. That would be a, you know, where you could say, okay, how far is this to this? Like the distance is so important. I understand that sometimes they take paths and that's different, but you know, right now my measuring tool is either the view distance, or if you take one of these medium voltage things, it measures the distance for you, you know? So you can say, okay, how far am I away to these different things? All right, well, anyway, we're out planting crops. We are, yeah, getting the workers here is going to be kind of important too, isn't it? It's all important. So there we go. So we're working on this, missing asphalt. Yeah, they should be able to complete the works down here pretty quickly. So I think I'll get this done. I'll get this done. Just so that we have, you know, again, it should be relatively quick, all things considered. Now we could build something else with our money, and I probably will, but we're down to 508. So let's see how it goes. I don't want to eat away at our cash too much, but I really want to get this portion, you know, I want to get the silo, the warehouse and the food production and the distillery going. Because that'll do two things for us. One, probably give us exports eventually. And I say eventually because it's probably going to take a while before we actually see money. Because what I'll do is I'll let this guy tend to fill this up. Now, it's already pretty full, so I don't know what's going to happen if we keep putting food in here. Is that just going to overflow this guy? What does this say? Limit amount. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we want that. Yeah, let me see what the limited amount is, because then we'll start selling faster, won't we? I never clicked that button before, if you couldn't tell from my reaction. All right, well, let me keep constructing, but I think you guys have a good idea what's going to happen, and we'll end the episode when I get this basically up and running. I might go out and... Another thing to point out is, like, we have this field, and it's getting sown, so I may choose to, like, just build this road, and... Well, now, we'll probably put the next farm down here, but I may build the road to the farm quicker. So maybe we'll put, like one field here and then two behind this one. And I think 5 is pretty reasonable for one farm. And I'll try to stagger them a little bit. So as I build them, their growth is like 20% each time. I don't know if it'll work out that well, but... because I'm sure the further fields will take longer to get to, but you get the idea. So, all right. Well, let me keep plugging away, and I will be back when we actually have food production made. How's that sound? See you in a bit. Let's turn off the wireframe. I don't know why I have that on. I tend to leave it on even after I guess it just doesn't bother me that much until I think about recording a video and have it not look so good. But happy days are here again. We have the food factory. You may have seen it just this minute become become active. So far, this seems to be working, though I don't... Yep, see, we got a little bit coming out of there. So I don't know if it just limits the number. But if we look at our grain storage, we've got a good amount of grain. Not a huge amount, but enough to get the process rolling at the very least. In the process of building a few more flats, here's one of the ones up here. Now, just to describe how I'm doing the construction, we'll close that. Kind of bouncing back between the two offices, and it's more efficient, I think, if nothing else, because if we look at this one, I have a crane and these two trucks and then a bus. So when we assign these to, like, say, just this prefab, which are going to be done soon, so I want to give them another task before they go off and do whatever the heck they want. I kind of wish you could say, no, don't get another auto search. These people. Oh wait, what happened there? Oh, the platform. Ah, geez. Just as I clicked it, this got done. So good. You know what? I'm going to take this off auto search too. So what this guy's doing, let's go over here, is he has this other one. They have like the road making, and they can do like the ground. See how like I got the groundwork done on this one. So I'm going to come up here and take this distillery. Oops, take this distillery off of their list. And let's go all the way back real quick. And I'm going to add that distillery to these guys, because they have the trucks that are going to be able to... Where's the distillery? There it is. They have the trucks that are going to be able to go get the wood, the bricks and the steel and the boards. So, yeah. And in addition to that, they have their own bus, so they can bus in people on their own. So what I'll do with these guys is they're working on these two roads, which I'm not going to be able to assign this to them until, well, this road's just about done. But once that road's done, I can assign the groundwork for here. Now, they're not going to be able to complete it too well past a certain point, so I'll take them back off of it. So there we go. So that road's done. So we can come in here and assign the livestock farm just for them to start doing the groundwork on. I did that with a couple of the buildings and then paid for the rest with, like, I think I did that with this, where they did the groundwork and then I just bought the rest of it. But anyway, we should have some food in here. Yes, 2 tons of food. All right, so let's figure out, I guess we're going to have to get a truck, which means, let's close some of this stuff for now. We'll let it fly on its own. So we have more workers. Our workers are extremely happy. I think what's happening is, by the way, they're so darn happy that they're not going to get beer or they're not going to get the cinema. So I'm not too worried about their happiness at this point. They seem to be relatively productive. Oh, we have the school to work on too, don't we? Might even be better to work on the school before we work on this, but that's all right. It takes them a lot longer to build the building than to do the groundwork, so when they get done this groundwork, I'll have them work over here. Anyway, what were we going to do? We were going to go get another covered truck. Covered hull. Yeah, I like the big ones better. I don't know if that's always smart, but... Alright, so what we want this guy to do is go... Are you going to put stuff in here? Yes, he's putting stuff in here. Are you holding it in both places? I don't know. Are we better? I mean, it seems like we'd be better off putting them into here, but he's putting food into here, so... How many places? Just one. You only have one. Oh, you have 2 slots. Let's see what happens. I'd rather send them to this and not bog down the warehouse, like if he decides to stay there forever. So what we're going to do is say, which one's the grocery store? This is the grocery store, right? Yeah. So go to the grocery store, drop off anything that you can. Well, not anything, but food. Then come to this warehouse, and we're going to have them drop off food. Then come and export whatever. Let me hit escape. So in the food factory, just pick up food. All right. Yes, wait till you're loaded. Now this one we're not going to wait. So if they have food, none of these we're going to wait, the drop-offs. So unload. Now this one, watch out for this. With every other one, it wants to put it as a load, but we're going to do like 3 unloads in a row. So now what that means is if he just drops off at the store, unfortunately he'll drive down through the rest of the loop anyway. But what that does for us, we're going to tell him don't wait, just keep doing the loop, because he's never going to have excess here, right? Like he's always going to drop off everything, so there's no point in waiting. He'll come back offloaded, but in the meantime, food, let's see if we can't just up the percentage a little bit. Like, yeah, so carry 20% food, which will be like twice what we've been buying, and that's, trust me, tons, because, well, how much food? We could probably tell from our chart. How much food? Imports, Western countries, food quantity 1.6 in 8 days. So if we look at last month, 5, call it. So that's plenty. It's like 4 months worth of food. We can always up it if we feel uncomfortable. We did up the number of people, so I guess I would expect it to be more. But again, I also expect to be pretty steadily producing more food here. I don't expect that to really go down ever. So, all right. Well, we forgot to start the guy. By we, I mean me. But there we go. So he should go off there. Yeah, unload. It's not a bad idea to double check. So he's going to go up there and wait. Now what I'm wondering is, will it pull food back from here? Yeah, it seems to be like holding holding the stuff in both of them. Okay, I'm fine with that for now. Oh, because we could have them go pick up alcohol at the same place, couldn't we? Yeah, but I do want them... Well, we'll see. alcohol's another step away. I don't. Maybe what we have him do is 2 runs, just like he did, except for go to the pub before he, like go just do another run instead of waiting or something. We'll see. Or we just get 2 trucks. Kind of depends on the timing of it. So let's see. How's he doing? Let's see. It's sucking out of here. Yes, it appears to be. So there you go. So it treated these like they were one inventory. It just seems to be spreading them out. I sort of wish it would. It doesn't matter. It's working fine. I don't know if I wish anything. Well, there we go. So now the grocery store should stop purchasing food. Purchase with dollars. Cancel it. Purchase with dollars. Now you're just going to buy meat. And so this trip, I don't know how much he holds. I forget, 6 tons or something. There you go. So we are no longer buying food. It's one thing. Again, our money is just slowly ticking away there. So, but I'm hoping that, well, I know it's, we're going to be more productive. We got 15 workers, not a great number, but we'll get this ramped up, and I have a feeling. Yeah, see, so he almost, did he fill out? Okay, exactly. This is what I was talking about. So he's just doing a dumb trip right now. But eventually it won't be, because even the next trip he takes, how much food do we have? 2 plus 4. Yeah, so he's pretty much going to fill up right when he gets back. And he'll stop by here, top them off, stop by here. The next few times he'll be storing up our supply of food, and then we'll sell off the excess. Wonderful. So anything else to note? I mean, I got our 5 fields that I talked about. You can see looks like we're sowing this one. We don't have a huge amount of excess food, but again, we just got the food thing going, so I don't know. We'll see what the balance is. Everything is all right with the farm. That's good. How's our construction sites going? Yep, see, we have construction crew number 1, or I guess you call it 2 because they come by later on, is working on this guy. Like I said, I got the prefabs done. You can see what I got built. So this guy, once he gets done the groundworks here, then they'll have to go get steel and all that stuff. Now he will bring concrete over, which is good, and then I'll switch over to the other crew. But he doesn't have a crane on him just yet, and I don't feel like buying one at this moment. Stingy mode. I really want to see how really love to see those dollars possibly go up. And I'm happy I went below 500,000, but with our rubles there, I think we're in pretty good shape because again, we got to get all the way over we got to build a lot of road, and we just really need to get to the point that we can save up some money and build more things, and because it's not like you can see this going down right now, it's not like it's free to build these buildings. It's cheaper, but it's not free. So there you go. So we'll get a school built, keep the people a little bit happier and more educated. I don't know if they're more productive when they're educated, but there we go. We can see our 2 trucks hauling stuff over. And it's nice to sometimes sit there and just look at this. This is our crew working on the livestock farm. And these guys are working on the distillery. Sometimes if there's extra roads, see, like at this point we have really enough equipment here, just a matter of manpower. So it might not be a bad idea to get them to finish up this road. And that's what I was doing. So I think all the little roads are finished. I don't know what we'll do as far as another road. The next thing, my thought is I may come back in the next episode. I'll get the distillery going, do something similar to what I did with this, but I don't think I'll make another episode. This road, my intention with that is to possibly put some houses right up here and get a sawmill going, kind of close by these houses, maybe up on top here, and then that the houses should be close enough to center city there, and I could put a cutting place. That's not what they call it. The various industry wood cutting post. So if I put a wood cutting post up here, we could get a good number of trees from that, I think. Maybe, you know, we got a good number of trees. We'd probably put like 3 of them up here eventually, coming down into a sawmill that would be at the top of this road right here. Yeah. But this one would be a good one to get started with. And I don't think it would interfere with anything here because it's just a few buildings. And I have no idea how the sawing goes, but does it replant trees? What does it do? Do we have the option? All future questions. Enough problems to work on now. I don't need future problems, right? So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative. It's a slog if you want to do it this way, but it's also maybe in some ways much more realistic. You know, buildings don't just pop out of the ground anymore. Kind of they don't. Certainly, I'm just hoping I can get to the point where my dollars start going up. And if I have to cut into the rubles more, we will. But I would, you know, I have no way of making more of them to buy more equipment, so more trucks anyway. All right. Well, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed it, like I said, and take care.